A Florida man was arrested for drunk driving after crashing at the same intersection 2 nights in a row. A Florida man is arrested for odd behavior with a Chucky doll. A Florida man passed out at a gas station, woke up and bit a deputy's dog. And the Floridaman Games are back. Floridaman Games 2025. These are the stories for Friday on Weird AF News. And they're all from the state of Florida, because that's what I do on Friday. Only weird news from Florida. It's called Florida Friday right here on Weird AF News. A Florida man is arrested after drunk driving and crashing at the same intersection 2 nights in a row. This Florida man sounds like a fun time. He's very predictable. He definitely has a routine. That routine is to drive drunk and crash at the same place, apparently. This story is out of Fort Walton Beach, Florida. The sheriff's office arrested Cody Jennings, age 38, for driving under the influence 2 nights in a row. The deputies say Cody Jennings, the Florida man star of the story, crashed the same car at the same intersection on both days. And here's the kicker. It occurred at exactly the same time. You can count on Cody. If he says he's going to be somewhere, he's going to be somewhere. Now, he's going to be wasted, and he may damage some property upon arrival, but he's a man of his word. Well, the only sensible thing is to let Cody go and just to, see if he does it a third time, I think. We need to study people like this. Okay, it says here at 9:47 p.m., the deputies were called to a crash at an intersection. A woman called 911 to report that a man had crashed into her parked car, and he appeared drunk. The Florida man, Cody Jennings, blew a .31 in a breathalyzer when deputies responded, which is 4 times the legal limit, apparently. Cody's very, very drunk, but he doesn't let that stop him from getting where he needs to go. It says here Cody was arrested and booked into the jail. He was released the next day. And on that day, again, at 9:47 p.m., the same man, Cody Jennings, Florida man, star of the story, crashed at the same intersection. Did he hit that lady's car again? That would be insane. He didn't hit the woman's car. This time he crashed into someone's yard. He drove through a fence and hit a tree stump. When the deputies arrived again on the scene, Cody blew he blew almost a 3-1. He blew a 3-0 on the breathalyzer, so everything wasn't exactly the same. Now, it doesn't indicate what sort of car that Cody's driving. I would like to know. This car is obviously reliable. You can crash it and it keeps going. This could be a commercial for the car maker, I would think. Chrysler. You can drive drunk and crash again and again and again. Chrysler will not let you down. Okay, so Cody was arrested once again, and bail was set to $50,000. I'm sure he'll get out again because this is obviously a catch and release until he runs somebody over. I'd like to see if it happens a third time, though. Are you curious? I mean, I don't want him out there driving, but I am curious. If it does happen a third time, clearly there's something wrong with the design of the roads at this intersection. Instead of locking up Cody, maybe we ought to lock up this intersection, get this intersection off the road before it endangers more drivers. A Florida man is arrested after strange behavior with a Chucky doll. Surfside, Florida. 35-year-old man's behavior with a Chucky doll was disturbing enough that police officers recently arrested him. Well, I'm curious what this disturbing behavior with the Chucky doll is. I mean, you can make the argument that any activity with a Chucky doll outside of Halloween week is pretty weird. But then again, we're dealing with a Florida man here, so probably being a little indecent with the Chucky doll. Some lewd and lascivious behavior with the Chucky doll, which I don't want to witness myself. So I can kind of understand where they're coming from. But let's keep reading and find out. According to the arrest report, we have Florida man star of the story, Rit Arias. That's his name. R-I-T is the first name. Never seen that one. Rit was waving the doll of the fictional serial killer at people Thursday along Harding Avenue. Police officers arrested Rit after he allegedly scared the patrons of the Grove Kosher Market. So it's a kosher market, so I wonder if this was racially motivated on some level. Is this a hate crime? Waving the fictional serial killer doll at people outside of a kosher market? Could be, could be. I mean, but we should be thankful that he isn't making sweet love to the Chucky doll outside of the kosher market, for one. It says the police had already given him a warning, and so they had to arrest him at that point. They gave him a warning about the Chucky doll, and he just couldn't stop waving the Chucky doll at people outside of a market. You know how drugs can be. I'm sorry. Do you know how Florida men can be? I mean, at the end of the day, we should just be grateful this is a lifeless doll that he's playing with in a parking lot instead of a real infant that doesn't belong to him. I mean, this is a Florida man, after all. Hey, Florida man, you want to play with something not alive all day? Have at it. That's my stance on it. Hey, another big win is the fact that he wasn't engaging in lewd and lascivious behavior with this Chucky doll, which is what I originally expected upon reading the title. For all we know, he's trying to sell the Chucky doll to people coming out of the grocery store. It's his only prized possession. He's just trying to make a living on these streets. It says here the correctional deputies booked Rit Arias, the Florida man who surprisingly has a very long arrest record. He faced a misdemeanor charge of disorderly conduct and breach of the peace. Shouldn't there be an extra charge of promoting a very bad horror movie franchise?
Your data is like gold to hackers. They're selling your passwords, bank details, and private messages. McAfee helps stop them. Secure VPN keeps your online activity private. AI-powered text scam detector spots phishing attempts instantly. And with award-winning antivirus, you get top-tier hacker protection. Plus, you'll get up to $2 million in identity theft coverage, all for just $39.99 for your first year. Visit McAfee.com. Cancel anytime. Terms apply.
A Florida man passed out at a gas station, woke up, and bit a deputy. In other words, just another Wednesday in Florida. Polk County, Florida. A Florida driver was fast asleep beside a gas pump at a gas station. And it turned violent when he awakened and bit the deputy's canine partner on the head. Wait a minute. He bit the dog? The canine dog on the head? What happened? Did the dog steal the Florida man's chew toy? Did they test the dog? Is it all right? Because I think this is how you turn into a zombie, getting bit by a Florida man at a gas station. It didn't end there. In addition to biting the canine, apparently the Florida man also bit the deputy. I bit the shepherd, and I also bit the deputy. Oh, no, no. Come on, what is this? Who wakes up and just starts biting people? First of all, who's sleeping next to a gas pump? Why would you get near someone also sleeping at a gas pump? I would stay far away from someone taking a nap next to a gas pump. That's one of the places where I don't trust you. And then, who wakes up and just starts biting? What kind of drugs is this? I have so many questions. This all happened in the morning, of course, 8:30 a.m. at a 7-Eleven in Davenport after the responding deputies found 3 people in the vehicle. 2 men were asleep in the front of a black 2006 Honda Accord that was parked at one of the pumps at a gas station. In the back seat was a 4-year-old girl. Now, okay, this is even worse than I thought. Well, I mean, I thought he was sleeping on the ground next to the gas pump, which is alarming, but he's in a car sleeping at the gas pump, and there's a little girl in the back seat. This is your typical Florida family, I think. The deputies wanted to first make sure everyone was all right, but as soon as they woke up the 2 snoozers, chaos erupted. The driver tried starting the car, but a deputy said that wasn't happening, and an in-car scuffle ensued. There was hitting, pushing, and even the biting of the deputy. That's when the deputy brought his canine partner into the fray. His dog's name is Zorak, which is a really cool name for a dog. Zorak? Is that the name of a cartoon character? Like an evil cartoon character? It reminds me of something I've heard before. Anyways, he brings Zorak over. That's when the driver grabbed the dog and began biting the dog's ear. Details of the dog's reaction were not revealed. Okay. I'm sure we can imagine the dog's reaction. Did the dog bite the guy's face off? I'd imagine that's probably what happened. That's what should happen. That's what you deserve if you're going to bite the ears of Zorak. You deserve to get your lower jaw bit off. It says, during the chaos, the man in the passenger seat got busy. The man grabbed the 4-year-old girl and ran into traffic, causing multiple vehicles to slam on their brakes and nearly collide. My goodness, what a scene. One deputy chased him down and rescued the 4-year-old girl, while the other deputies subdued the biting driver. Did you put a muzzle on this guy? Now, a search of the vehicle revealed, surprise, surprise, ding, 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 the men were in possession of cocaine, marijuana, and drug, say it with me, everyone, paraphernalia, our favorite word here on Florida Friday. In addition, the driver was charged with battery on a law enforcement officer, battery on a canine, resisting arrest, and driving with a revoked license. The passenger also charged with possession of a stolen firearm and child abuse. The deputy and the dog, thankfully, did not suffer any serious injuries. Well, thank goodness. Our buddy Zorak is A-OK and ready to fight some more Florida man crimes. The Floridaman Games returns to the Sunshine State. Florida's most irreverent, politically incorrect, and outrageous celebration of athletic absurdity. The Floridaman Games is back for its second annual installment. This is going to take place the weekend of March 1st. This competition, dubbed the most insane athletic showdown on earth, will be returning again, this time at the St. Johns County Fairgrounds in Elkton, which is just west of St. Augustine. Anybody down there, you should definitely get your tickets to the Floridaman Games. If I was down there, I would be attending. We have here a history of the Floridaman Games. It burst onto the scene on February 24th, 2024 in downtown St. Augustine. Inspired by the Floridaman internet phenomenon, where bizarre news stories feature residents in outlandish predicaments, they crafted a sporting event that's equal parts parody and pride. The inaugural games saw teams such as the Red-Eyed Gator Huggers and the Cooter Commandos compete in front of 5,000 spectators, with St. Augustine, Florida's own Hanky Spanky clinching the championship belt and $5,000. I don't know who Hanky Spanky is, but Hanky Spanky won the Floridaman Games last year. I covered the announcement of the event, but I never did a follow-up to see who actually won. I'd love to get down there one time and be there for this, but who can afford to get on a plane right now? Who wants to? They're all crashing. The event's instant popularity, fueled by national media buzz, prompted a move to a larger venue for 2025. Okay, they're upping the size of it. They're expecting more spectators. There's also going to be RV tailgating and whispers of a potential television deal. Oh, fascinating. I wonder if, maybe Netflix would cover this, do like a live stream event. I'd watch it for sure. This year's lineup promises returning fan favorites and fresh doses of Floridian flair. Here's what's on tap for the Floridaman Games 2025. Beyond the main events, attendees can enjoy sideshows such as the Hell's a Poppin' Rock and Roll Circus, a mullet contest, and open interactive challenges. Only 12 teams, each representing a different Florida city, including returning champs Hanky Spanky and the all-female Ballbusters from Gainesville, will compete for the coveted Gatorhead Trophy with 2 wildcard teams selected from the crowd. We got some events here as described on the website, thefloridamangames.com. Evading arrest obstacle course. Floridians are chased by police after stealing catalytic converters. Find the frozen iguana and throw an alligator through a drive-through window to earn a victory and your freedom. Weaponized pool noodle mud duel. Crowds roar as the Floridians go head-to-head in this muddy Florida-style jousting competition. Then there's the Eat the Butt Challenge. Contestants must finish their pork butt platter in the fastest time to place highest in the bracket. Florida sumo cage match and beer chug. This is basically a sumo wrestling with pitchers of beer in their hands. So you want to knock down your opponent and or spill their beer from the pitcher. We also have the Hurricane Party Prep Grocery Aisle Brawl. Floridians must battle it out against each other to get the last of the hurricane prep and party supplies left on the shelves. And lastly, they have something here called the Human Beer Pong, but they just say it's a Florida-sized beer pong challenge. Now, as you know, I'm an expert on Florida man news, and so the competition reached out to me for some ideas, and They didn't, but I sent them an email anyways, letting them know that I had some ideas for what events they should feature. Some of my suggestions weren't taken, though, sadly. I thought they were good. I'll read some off to you, and you be the judge. The Meth Cook-Off, where teams cook as much meth as they can before their trailer blows up. The bath salts face eating contest, where very high Florida men have to eat as many pounds of other people's face as possible in a specific time limit. The flash your genitals outside of a daycare event. The Don't Say Gay 5K marathon. The buy a child outside of a Publix. Hide a dead body in the swamp. The Get Lieutenant Dan to Leave His Boat challenge. The machete-wielding dance-off. Most outrageous unnatural acts in a Wendy's parking lot. The ankle monitor removal race. The Hide Your Drugs challenge. Naked carjacking. Fight to the death over a handicapped parking spot. And lastly, the family backyard brawl, followed by the first cousin bikini mud wrestling and then kissing contest. Tickets are still available for this madness. $45 grants you all access. VIP tickets are $145 and include some free drinks and a catered lunch. You can do the RV tailgating experience. Spaces go for $550. They give you a private area near the arena with exclusive amenities. Ooh, go to thefloridamangames.com. And more than just a spectacle, the Florida Man Games benefits the Jimmy Jam Community Outreach, which is a local nonprofit aiding St. Johns County residents in need. So it also goes to a good cause, which is nice to hear. So grab your mullet, your wife beater, and your drug paraphernalia and get yourself on down to the Florida Man Games. And please tell me how it is. I want to see some video and pictures. You got my email.
Oh, Pod Daddy. Good luck with your life, man.
Hey, good luck with your life, man. Thank you for listening to this episode of Weird AF News, the Florida Man edition, Florida Friday edition. Thank you to everyone who emailed me or sent me Florida news from the week. You can always send me stuff to funnyjones@gmail.com, and my Instagram is @funnyjones. Appreciate it. I hope you're having a nice weekend, or you had one. I want to give thanks and praise to someone who bought me some coffees off my website, weirdafnews.com. It's JP from Georgia that bought me coffees. I believe JP from Georgia has purchased coffees for me in the past, so we want to give a shout out, and I want to give thanks and praise to JP for being so generous and supporting this one-man Inside a Closet podcast. Very nice. JP wrote me a lovely note too. It says, couldn't think of any better way to stay weird AF than to do it with a choice beverage. Keep us weirdos laughing, Jonesy, and good luck with your life, man. Very short and sweet message from JP in Georgia. Shout out to JP. Hope you're having some nice weather over there in Georgia. You guys can always buy me coffee or join the Patreon by going to weirdafnews.com. You can also go to patreon.com/weirdafnews if you just want to join the Patreon. And I recently put on a bonus episode on the Patreon. So if you'd like some extra content, there's a bonus episode that went up about a week ago. It's over an hour of extra weird news with my friend Adam. So it's very, very good. And it's a different way to hear Weird AF News. It's me and a co-host, which is something I rarely do. But being that Adam's funnier than me, I think he brings something to the table. So that's a good time. Okay, I hope you're having a great time, guys. Be safe. Be safe out there. It's a crazy world. But you got this. I believe in you. You got this. Good luck with your life, man.